been paying. They have never missed a paycheck, and they have never missed a gold delivery. And that was my bottom line too, because when I got to the refinery, I was planning on insisting on going to the mine and going to the vault and so forth. And I didn't have to after that, because I could see it doesn't matter whether we own the mines or not. They have the capacity regardless because of their other capabilities. And, and that really obviously is a key. And, the other reason is, there are other producers out there of the 1 gram, and I don't think anybody's doing the half gram yet, but even if they do, because of all of our other aspects, we've got more margins. And we're still selling the 1 gram Kinnabar unit at, what is the market price, basically. We're lower than some, a little bit higher than others. But for the most part, we are selling at the same rate others are of the exact same type of product. The Kinnabar, 1 grams, half grams, quarter grams, 5 gram, 2.5 grams, so forth. But because we've got all these other aspects in there, we can afford to pay out the referral commissions. Because all of these refineries and mints are paying referral commissions. We're just a lot more visionary and a lot less greedy.
Yeah, well put. Well, next question has to do with the audits. Who audits our gold in storage, and how do we know it's safe?
Well, again, here's the factor. Again, like I said before, I was going to visit the vaults, but I saw enough documentation and verification in other means. And, come on, let's think sensible about this. These guys have been out there for 17 years as a financial services company. They've been doing this for 1.5 to 2 years. If there was anything that was, fraud or was not credible, or not viable, it would come out on the internet. It would come out with the authorities and so forth. There's been nothing credible against it. So when they got their certification from the Swiss government, and to maintain that, every load of cards, when it comes out of the refinery and goes to Switzerland, has, government authorities, not only, and their sub-authorities or whatever they contract with, not only auditing the gold, but randomly checking every card. If they so much as find one that is not 24 karat, 9999 fine, then we lose our license for a minimum of 6 years and probably won't get it back. So out of 95 refineries in the world and only 6 that are private, us being one, we are not about to give that up. They double check every, batch of gold that comes off, and if there's anything that's not perfect about it, it goes back in the smelter until it is. And I think that's, a big part of the key. Not only that, but the Swiss government, their, main, KB offices and, entity there and their certifications there insist that within 3 days after receiving the money on the gold, it has to be in the gold and in the vaults. So that, and of course, some's taken out for shipping to Munich and then the rest of the world and so forth. But it goes through that process. And if it wasn't the case, then we'd already have those negative facts out there, and they don't exist, other than opinions and speculations and total, lies. So everything about it is credible. And, common sense and logic is what I rely on a lot, and hopefully most people do. And we would know that if there was anything about this process that, somebody could take a shot at, they'd be doing it because they're taking shots, but they're all blanks.
Right. Well, you answered my next question, which was the accountability of gold purity, and that is so huge, and that their process is so special in the fact that, they are going to guard their license like a pit bull his last bone, and the last thing they're going to allow to happen is product to get out there that's not what it's been presented to be. Next question.
Mike, let me just say this, that Mike brought this up too, and it's, again, common sense, logic, and so forth too.
Steve, do you want to share who this Mike is that you're referring to for our new people?
I'm sorry, Mike Coshin, who is the CEO and owner of the original financial company and, of course, of KB Gold itself. Mike Coshin, who's in all the documentation, is the the main owner and the visionary behind everything that we're doing right now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And so again, Mike Cochin, sorry about that, was, going into the details. Again, it's another thing that, was asked of him. And he's right. It would take more expertise and more costs and more time to fake a little gram or a half gram or quarter gram or whatever, the units that we have, than it would to make it itself. And, one expose would end all of our operations, okay? So, when you got a 400, you've got one of the good delivery bars, the main bullion bars, that type of thing, and you take it out of what they call the good delivery cycle, where everybody knows everything about it has been, kept credible, then you have a chance that somebody's going to melt it down, stick lead in the metal or whatever, and, give you a bar of gold that is not pure gold. But in this case, it would take more to fake it than it does to make it. Okay.
Right. What do you see as being so special about their market niche with these smaller weight bullions?
Well, a big part of the financial collapse and everything else. Anybody that knows what's going on out there and what we came close to experiencing and may in the future, is that you can't take a gold bar or a gold coin and go out and shop with it and shave off pieces of it. I mean, it'd be very difficult. And, if there is serious financial collapse or major problems or disruptions, then, do you want to take a gold bar or a gold coin out and get worth less currency back as change? Or do you want to have to buy, 500 boxes of cereal or whatever? It's the ability to have the gold in a size and, credible, viable unit that can be used as currency. And that is really the key of what we're providing for people. So you've got something that you can carry around, and they are in thousands and thousands of shops in Europe already accepting the KB gold cards as currency. And, of course, when you see the card, it's got a serial number on it. It's got a hologram. It's stamped. It's certified. And they're adding new things to the cards that'll be out soon, too, just to keep on, making them, more secure and, more viable as a currency. And that, that is the real key to what we're offering people here. I mean, there's many other factors that are very unique, but I think that's the real key, is you keep a certain amount of these cards around the house or in your safe deposit box or in your home safe or whatever. In case of a collapse, you keep everything else in the vaults that are totally secure, and then when things are looking a little dire, you have more and more shipped to you. But that's, a big factor of what differentiates us.
So what I hear you saying, and I know, you and I have chatted several times since you got back, but with the KB vision really is a private global currency that is inflation-proof. The euro's in free fall, the U.S. dollar's in free fall, the currencies of the world they're in trouble. And there's a currency war going on right now, and what a perfect time to come up with this concept and idea, and I think everyone has to agree in business, timing is everything. This private global currency, what can you share with us about that vision?
Well, again, this is what I was querying Mike Cochin about and so forth with the whole crew present there, and I said to him, Mike, what I see you doing here is creating a private currency that is actually viable to be a global, a globally distributed and accepted currency. And I said, aren't you a little concerned that you may come under a little bit of attack or something? And, because you may be challenging the all the different powers that be. And he just said essentially to me, well, that is the vision. And, as I had researched and as he affirmed, private currencies are totally legal in any free country of the world. I mean, we have barter currencies. We have local currencies. As Mike brought up, there's at least 60 in Germany alone. And they're totally legal as long as you're not trying to make them look like you're the local government's currency. But Mike, just basically said that is the vision, and he just said, too, that, if he's attacked, the movement will go on. With the Internet and the kind of momentum and everything that we've got, they would just be creating a martyr and actually increasing, the draw of this whole opportunity. So the private currency is totally viable. It's totally credible. It's totally, at the right timing for today. And, again, there's something about people that are getting behind this concept that I can't share yet, but it's going to be coming out in the not too distant future. And you're going to find that a lot of people with money are going to realize that, if the currencies collapse, they can go to zero balance too. So you're going to see people with prestige and power and profits and everything else getting behind this, I believe, and taking it up a few notches. But that's all I can say about it.
Okay. Well, the last question I have, and then we're going to open the line for questions. Now that you've seen everything, you've met the management team, you've seen the refinery, you've seen the mint, both corporate offices, you've seen all the nuts and bolts of the whole program. Why do you believe this company will succeed?
Well, Joe, again, one of the things that was very clear to me after, all these processes is that we have things to offer here. And excuse me, I'm going to have to backtrack a little bit because I forgot to mention something that I hadn't heard before, and I think it just came, to the surface and became viable. That's going to set us really, really apart. Our production facilities are producing green gold. And when I say that, I don't mean the cheap gold you can buy down on the street corner or, at the dollar store or whatever that turns green on you. I mean ecologically correct. If anybody knows anything about gold production on this planet, it's, very detrimental to the environment and people that are doing it because of the caustic chemicals, the cyanide and the mercury and so forth. We're not using any of those. That's really a big part of what blew me away. We are not. They've come up with processes, again, proprietary, patent pending, and got to be kept a little bit quiet right now. But we can talk about the fact that our production facilities are producing nothing but ecologically correct gold. And I don't think there's another facility on the planet doing it. And that itself, there were several times on this trip when I got those, those kind of chills you get when you realize what you've got.
Yes.
And you've never had before, and you dreamed and hoped you'd see, and so forth. And when they come, it's like, whoa. So the green gold aspect is huge for us. We've got proprietary technologies that others are going to be after and whatever. But right now, we're rolling it out in our facilities, and I think it's a big selling point. Not only that, it adds a lot of value, again, that nobody else can match as far as comparing the Kinnabars and so forth. Right. And, the company is going to succeed because it's doing everything right. The plan is brilliant. The pay plan, the product, the procedures, everything else. They've had a few hiccups along the way, and we're probably going to have a few more. But they're very open and anxious to solve any problems right away and keep on with the vision. The vision, to help the whole world be ready. I think that's a big part of what's going to be our success, is people are going to realize that this is not just about